Hey my champions, I hope that you're doing great and I welcome you all to score 360 out of 360 in NEET Bio within 250-day series, and today we are going to talk about Megasporangium, and this comes under sexual reproduction in flowering plants. And as I said, we won't be spending too much of our time for this particular chapter, but we would be completing all the important things. So this is also one thing that is very important. Yeah. Now let's go ahead. Let's see what did we study in the previous session. We spoke about Microsporangium, the pollen grains and all its structure, what is it made up of, the type of questions that could be framed, everything. Yeah. And if you want the PDF for the same, you can join our WhatsApp channel where only our NEET family is there. Yes. So the previous number of questions, as I said, it's 2 in this previous year. So 2 into 4, 8 marks, but the numbers could change, it could be more as well. Yes. Now, starting with the most important part. So I wanted to make the diagram first, but then when I started this thing, I thought I should be making you read the NCERT first and then we should be making the diagram. It will give you more clarity. The gynoecium represents the female reproductive part of the plant. Basically, what is it? What do you say as pistil? Okay, what do you call as pistil or carpel? Basically, in scientific terms, you have a good name for it. You call it gynoecium. What do you call it, children? You call it gynoecium. Now, gynoecium may consist of a single pistil. It can be just one pistil. If it is single pistil, you call it monocarpellary. So, just imagine there is only one. So, in that case, you call it monocarpellary. As the name suggests, mono as in one and carpellary as in one carpel. Okay. Now, or may have more than one pistil. If it's more than one, what do you call it? Multicarpellary. Okay, agree? When there are more than one pistil, the pistil may be fused together. Now, that is another condition. If there are more than one, then they can be fused together as well. If they are fused together, okay, fused together, you call it syncarpus. What do you call it? You call it syncarpus. Fine. And now, there could be cases when they are not fused, they are free. In that case, what do you call it? Apocarpus. So, second case, not fused. That means they are free. In this case, what do you say? Apocarpus. So, this is syncarpus, the other one is what? Apocarpus. Going ahead, what do we have? Let's see. So, each pistil has 3 parts, the stigma, the style and the ovary. That I will show you there itself. Okay. The stigma serves as a landing platform. So, you know that basically there is a very sticky area through which the pollen grains land, and this sticky area is known as stigma. Then there is a elongated long structure which you call as what? Style, and then there is a basal bulge region which you call as what? Ovary, about which we will be studying there. The placenta is located inside the ovarian cavity. Now there is some placenta. You have to imagine there is some placenta in the ovarian cavity. Just imagine there. I will draw it for you, but you have to imagine. Now, recall the definition and types of placenta. Okay, arising from the placenta are the megasporangia. Now, you have got the megasporangia. So, inside the ovary, there is something like placenta, and arising from this placenta is what? Megasporangia. Okay, commonly known as ovules. So, you have ovule. This particular thing that is megasporangia is nothing but the ovule. Okay, now, the number of ovules in an ovary may be 1. There could be only one ovary in an ovule. In the case of, for example, wheat, paddy and mango. If you have eaten mango, then you know there is only one seed. What is this seed? That's the ovule itself. So basically, wherever you see one seed, that means it is what? The ovary is having just one ovule, and that is wheat, paddy, mango, which is given in your book. Okay. Now, it could be many as well. If you see papaya, there are so many seeds. That means so many ovules are there. So, papaya, watermelon, orchid, all of them, they come under this category. So, papaya and watermelon we can remember because we eat it. Orchid, you won't be able to remember, so we have to learn it. So, wheat, paddy, mango has just one ovule in the ovary, whereas papaya, watermelon, orchid, they have many ovules in the ovary. Now, one more thing, when I said that pistil can be basically 1 in number, or it can be multiple. In multiple, they can be fused, that is syncarpus, or they can be free, that is apocarpus. I also mean that you have to learn, where is that? Yeah, this particular example which is given. This is how I say NCERT becomes very much important for you. They have given the examples over here. If you miss this particular information, your marks are gone. So over here, this is an example of syncarpous ovary. Okay, there is an example of syncarpous ovary where you have so many of the carpels coming together. This is what basically over here, if you see, this is B, multicarpally syncarpous pistil. Okay, so this is, wait, A is written this, B is this, C is this. Okay, so over here, this is the example of our papaware. You remember papaware, children? If you remember papaware in opioids, if you remember, try to remember papaware somniferum. So oh yeah, multicarpally apocarpus. So this is apocarpus, this is syncarpus where all of them are fused. This is apocarpus where they are not fused, they are separate. As you can see here, they are all fused. Here they are all separate. So this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. Example is what, children? Michelia. You have to remember it. You have to remember Michelia. The spelling is correct. There's only one L. There's only one L. So it is Michelia. Will you be able to remember it? Syncarpus, example is papaware. Apocarpus, where they are not fused, example is Michelia. Okay, so you can remember Michelle wants to remain single. So you can remember like that. It wants to remain single, it does not want to fuse. So over here it is Michelia. Now a diagrammatic view of typical anatropis, this will come to that. Okay, so as of now you have to remember this and this, both are the examples of multicarpellary flowers. Okay, now going ahead, let's make the diagram, the structure of the pistil and carpel, the placenta and everything. So over here you have this landing surface and then a tube like this which has a bulged region, and this bulged region is what? The ovary. So this bulged region that you see over here, it is the ovary. This landing area is the stigma, as you know, and this is the style. Okay, now ovary, it will be having a wall sort of thing. Basically it is going to make the fruit and everything. Yeah, now children, just understand, in the ovary, no, you will have placenta. You will have placenta. This placenta is responsible for nourishment, just like how you humans have. Similar to it, there is placenta for the nourishment of what? The ovule. Okay, so for ovules nourishment we have placenta. Later on endosperm and everything comes after the fertilization, that is different. So before that we have placenta, and this placenta, as I said, it is going to provide nourishment to the ovule. So we have to make the ovule. So I am just making one ovule over here. So imagine that this is the ovule. Okay, this thing is the ovule, and this thing, children, it is the megasporangium. It is what? Megasporangium. So whenever you study this, you have to compare with the male system as well. In the male system we had anther. Inside the anther we had microsporangium. Similarly here we have ovary. Okay, inside the ovary we have megasporangium, which is none other than the ovule. Now this particular structure which is attaching placenta to the ovule, what is the name of this particular structure, children? Okay, I'll mark it in red. Okay, what do you call this structure? You call this structure as funicle. Is it visible to you? It is known as what? Funicle. And this funicle, the site where it attaches, it leaves a scar. It leaves a scar over here, and this scar is known as hilum. It's a very important thing. Hilum is the scar that is left from the place when the placenta is going to touch the ovule. Okay, this thing is known as funicle. Agreed? This whole thing is what? A pistil or a carpel or a gynoecium. Okay, there can be multiple carpels. Okay, you call it multicarpellary condition, and then when they fuse together you call it syncarpus, just like how we saw in papaware. If they are not fused, they are free, you call it apocarpus. Okay, and the example is what? Basically Michelia. Okay, Michelia. Okay, now ovule, they can be one in number, for example mango, paddy and everything, right? Now over here in the case of there can be multiple ovules also in the case of watermelon, papaya and then orchids. Okay, agreed? Now Going ahead, what do we have? Suppose we need to have pollen tube and everything there. So this ovule cannot be just left like that. It is going to form the female gamete, right? So it has to be covered with something. So it is actually covered with something. There are two layers that is going to cover the ovule. There are two layers which are going to cover the ovule, and these layers which you call as integuments, children. What do you call them? Integuments. Now, for this, from this point onwards, I have to explain you in a bit more detail. For that, we need to go ahead. So, over here we have a structure of megasporangium, that is the ovule. So, consider that this is the ovule. Okay. Now, over here, as I said, there is funicle, which is making it attached to the placenta. Agree? So, this particular structure is placenta, this is funicle, and this is the scar. It is being formed, it is hilum. Now, always remember, you have two layers. One is this particular layer, okay, one integument, and then the other integument. So, we have two integuments, two integuments to protect. Okay. Now, apart from two integuments, if you see that there is a region which is open. Why is it open, children? You know the pollen tube will be forming. The pollen tube has to form, has to join over here, send the male gametes, because here the female gametes are going to form. So, this is the pollen tube. So, this is the pollen tube that is going to form over here and send the male gamete. So, as of now, this particular region that you see over here, okay, where the pollen tube is going to attach, you call this region as the micropylar end or the micropylar region. Okay, whereas the opposite side of micropylar region, always remember, if you are asked about chalaza, it is just the opposite side of micropylar region. So, this area that you see over here, this will be the chalazal end. Is it visible to you? Yes. It is what, children? Chalazal end. So, this is chalazal end, this is micropylar end. Obviously, always the opposite side of it. Okay. Now, there are certain cases. So, that is embryo sac that I have made. I have to show you some other case. Okay. Now, do not think that wherever hilum is there is chalaza is there. No. Hilum is wherever the placenta is fusing, connecting with the ovule. So, basically just imagine a situation which is given in your book where the funicle is being like this and it is attaching to the ovule over here, which has the integument layer and everything. Okay, it has the, okay, I will make the integument layer in yellow so that you understand. Okay, this is the integument layer and this is the placenta, this is the funicle, and this area will now be the hilum. Where is the chalazal end? Where is the chalazal end, children? You only tell me. If this is the opening for the pollen tube to attach, then this has to be what? The micropylar end. Agree? This has to be the micropylar end. So, this area opposite to it will be the chalazal end. And there is a condition like this. It has a name. What do you call this name as? Anatropous ovule. What do you call it? Anatropous ovule. I will write it. Anatropous ovule. Okay, where you see the hilum is over here, whereas chalazal end is over here. Done? Now, let's go. So, this is the outer integument. Since I saw the diagram, I remember. This is the outer integument and this is the inner one. Now, children, inside the microsporangium, what is there? Inside the microsporangium, what is there? There is nucellus. What is there? There are so many cells, children. There are so many cells. And what do you call this particular whole of them? Nucellus. Please don't write nucleus. This is nucellus. Okay. And now, the cells of the nucleus, not all of them. Okay. One of them has the potency to become what? To divide themselves and to form the male gamete, sorry, female gamete, not the male gamete, the female gamete. So, basically one cell among them. So, I am not explaining embryo sac as of now, I am explaining this only. So one cell in the nucleus, from the nucleus, it will be known as the megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell will now undergo meiosis 1 and form 2 cells, meiosis 2 and form 4 cells. But among them, only one cell will be forming the female gamete. Rest all of them, they will die. Only one will be going there. So basically, how can you differentiate between the microsporangium and the structure? In the microsporangium, you have sporogenous tissue. In the sporogenous tissue, you had so many microspore mother cells, or basically pollen mother cells. They were dividing, they did meiosis. They also did meiosis. So in meiosis, as you know, there are two phases. Meiosis 1 is there, and then meiosis 2 is there. Right? So they did meiosis, here also they also did meiosis. In there you got megaspore tetrad, but here also you got 4 cells, but only one cell is going to form the embryo sac. It is going to form the female gamete, I said, but it's not directly going to form the female gamete. It has something to do with the embryo sac. So now over here only one is going to form the embryo sac. Okay, one. So what happens in that one? And this one, as I said, embryo sac is the one that is going to form the female gamete. So can I say that embryo sac is the female gametophyte? Can I say that embryo sac is the female gametophyte because it is, what am I writing? Sometimes no, ma'am itself is gone. Female gametophyte. How pollen grains were male gametophyte. Similarly, embryo sac here are the female gametophyte because they are the ones that will be giving rise to what, children? Female gametes. Now let's see how. Okay, so over here everything is happening. So I can remove this. Okay, and I can make everything. So over here, this was the cell which is there. So this is the whole cell. Inside this we have the cell, okay, with one nucleus. This nucleus underwent division. Okay, this was the end result. So we have one cell. Now I am saying that this particular cell is going to undergo division. What division? Mitosis. So after mitosis, there are 2 nuclei. Okay, first mitosis, 2 nuclei. So you can remember like this. First divides into 2. Now I am saying it will divide again. There will be next mitosis. So again it divides now into 2. Okay. Now I am saying there is one more mitosis. So this will also divide 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nuclei will be having. We'll be having what, children? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nuclei. Okay. So how many divisions were there? First mitosis, second mitosis, third mitosis. In the case of pollen cells, what was the case? How many mitoses were there? First mitosis where the pollen was dividing into 2, into vegetative and the generative one. The second mitosis where generative cell was dividing into 2, that is male and the female. So only 2 mitoses were there. Over here, how many mitoses are there, children? 3 mitoses there, in which I get 8 nuclei. In which, children, I get 8 nuclei. Okay, now what will happen? Slowly this nuclei will be covered by cytoplasm and cell wall and everything, and now they will be divided into different regions. So one will be over here with the nucleus, there will be 2 more over here with the nucleus. So we have 3 cells are settled there, then 3 of them are settled over here. Okay, 3 of them settled over here. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 of them. The rest 2 nuclei, it just sits over here, and this whole thing becomes a cell. This whole thing that you see over here, it becomes the cell. So this thing that you see over here, I call it the central cell, which is the biggest one. These all are small ones. This is the biggest cell with 2 nuclei. So I'm not supposed to, okay, with what? 2 nuclei. So where shall I write it? So basically over here you have central cell, and the central cell has what? two free nuclei, the polar nuclei. Okay, I call it polar nuclei. Now you tell me how many cells are in this particular ovule, or basically the embryo sac. This is the embryo sac which is being formed. Okay, how many cells are there in the embryo sac over here as of now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one is this one, that is the 7th one. So we have 7 cell. We have 7 cell, but how many nuclei? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because 2 of them were free. So 8 nuclei. So this is 7 cell stage with 8 nuclei. And over here, the green one that you see in the middle over here, this is the children, this will be the female gamete. So I said one among them will be able to form the female gamete, right? So this is going to form the embryo sac. The embryo sac, as I said, it will undergo division, and the end of this you get one female gamete over here, just one female gamete. Okay, and then you have 2 of them over here. What do you call them? What do you call them? I do not have space to write, so let me erase this. Okay, I'll write over here. The name of them is synergids. Synergids, and synergids have some fingery structure like this. Okay, this fingery structures collects the male gamete and brings it to the female gamete for fusion. So filiform apparatus is there. This finger-like structure is known as what, children? Filiform apparatus, which is going to collect the male gamete and bring it towards the female gamete. Okay. Now these cells which are present at the chelazal end, you call them antipodal cells. What do you call it? Antipodal cells. And these are the 2 free nuclei. Always remember it. I'll repeat the same thing again. Listen to me very carefully, okay? So what did we have initially? We had nucellus region. Over here we have so many cells. Now out of the cell, there will be one megaspore mother cell. Over there were so many. Over here there is one megaspore mother cell. It undergoes meiosis, you have 2 cells. It undergoes meiosis, you have 4 cells. Out of them 3 of them goes, only one is there. This one will be responsible for embryo sac formation. There it was responsible for pollen formation. Now this embryo sac is known as the female gametophyte because it is going to form the female gamete. There the pollen was known as the male gametophyte because it was going to form the male gamete. Now what happens to the embryo sac? In the embryo sac, no children, there was one nucleus, it divides, undergoes mitosis into 2 cells. Now 2 cells divide into what, say 4, 4, 8. So you have 8 nuclei, just the nuclei, not cell division. This nuclei has divided. Okay, you have 3 mitosis happening. Now after the nuclei divided, they form the cell wall and everything around them. But 2 of them are left free over here. 3 of them are in the micropilar region. 3 of them are in the chelazal region. In the chelazal region, you have the antipodal cell, which does not have much amount of use as and such. Okay, but when you talk about them, one among them is the female gamete. 2 among them are synergids. Synergids have filiform apparatus which takes the male gametes and tells it to go fuse with the female gamete. And then there are 2 nuclei over here as well. So one male gamete, it comes fuses with this, another male gamete, it comes fuses with this. That is the next thing we will talk about in fertilization. Okay. So as of now, you only think there is 1, 2, 3 cell, 1, 2, 3, 6 cells, and then one big cell like this, which is why there are 7 cells. But in the 7 cell, you have 8 nuclei. Why? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I hope this is very much clear. So, talking about ploidy of the cell. Megaspore mother cell will be diploid to N. Now, when it has underwent meiosis, obviously it becomes haploid. It will become N. The female gametophyte, again, it will be having the N stage itself. The female gamete, basically, it will be also haploid. Done? Done for the day, children? That's all. Now, let's have a comparison. So, in the case of them, Microsporangia was there, that is in the anther. In the anther, it's not the anther is the microsporangium, no, in the anther we had microsporangium. Okay. Now over here, what was happening? Sporogenous tissue is there. Sporogenous tissue has a microspore mother cell. Then microspore mother cell will undergo meiosis to form microspore. How many of them? Microspore tetrad, 4 of them. Each of them they will form pollen grain. Each of them they act as a pollen grain, that is the male gametophyte. This pollen grain divides into 2. Giving generative and vegetative cell, and the generative again divides to form male gamete. So there you had one meiosis happening over here. and 2 mitosis happening over here. One for dividing into generative and vegetative, one for making gametes. Okay. On the other hand, if you see okay, so I will make a little change. Megasporangium is also known as ovule, but it is there inside the ovary. You can remember like that. So, okay. So this answer is there. Okay. Now inside that you have nucellus. Nucellus have megaspore mother cell. It will form megaspore, only one. Here it was forming 4. Okay. Now embryo sac will be formed out of this megaspore. Embryo sac is formed. This is the female gamete. This will form the female. So this is a gametophyte. This will form the female gamete. Over here, to form the female gamete, it underwent 3 mitosis. 3 mitosis, right? And over here to form, there is 1 meiosis. Okay. And the ploidy, if you see, this is 2n. Okay. This is also 2n. This is microspore mother cell. This is 2n. Here also it is 2n. But from here it becomes n, n and n. Okay. Am I clear? Now, the hilum is a scar on what, children? The hilum is a scar on what? So, one more thing I want to say. Basically, over here, this ovule that you see over here, the ovule, it will form the seed when the fertilization has happened, and this particular thing that you see, the ovary, it becomes the fruit. So ovary becomes the fruit, ovule becomes the seed. Inside the seed, what do you have, children? You have the embryo. Okay. So inside the seed, you will be having the embryo. If it is fertilization has happened, if the female gamete which was there was fusing with the male gamete. Done? Now, yeah, hilum is a scar on what? You tell me. Fruit where style was present? Style has no connection with fruit, that is ovary. No. Seed where micropyle was present, was it in the micropylar end? No. Seed where funicle was attached? Yes, because the funicle was attached to the placenta. Now the seed, when it attached to the funicle over here, this is hilum. So this is the scar. Okay. Next. Functional megaspore in an angiosperm develops into what? Functional megaspore, as in one is functional, rest all of them they go. And what does it form? The female gametophyte, which is what, children? The embryo sac, came in NEET 2017. In majority of angiosperm, egg has filiform apparatus. There are numerous antipodal cells. I think there are 3. And egg does not have filiform apparatus. What has? You tell me in the comment section, children. What has filiform apparatus? What cell? Reduction division occurs in the megaspore mother cell. Is it reduction division in the mother cell? Yes. This reduction division is known as meiosis. This reduction division is known as meiosis. I don't know why it does not work. Just a second. I'll erase this. Okay, and I'll write. Meiosis works. Now, a small central cell is present in that embryo sac. Is it small central cell? It is very big with 2 nuclei. So what is the correct answer? This is the correct answer. In majority of the angiosperm, rest everything that is given is wrong. And you have to tell me what has filiform apparatus. Okay. Going ahead. What does the filiform apparatus do at the entrance in an ovule? It brings about opening of the pollen tube. It guides pollen tube from synergid to egg. It helps in the entry of pollen tube into the synergid. It prevents entry of more than 1 pollen tube into the embryo sac. Nothing. It guides pollen tube from a synergid to the egg. I told you, you have to direct it to the female gamete, that is the egg. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Came in the year 2008. Next one. Which one of the following pairs of the plant structure has haploid number of chromosomes? Yes. Tell me. Which one has haploid number of chromosomes? Nucellus, can it have? No. Egg nucleus and secondary nucleus. Egg nucleus and secondary nucleus. What is it? We do not know. Megaspore mother cell and antipodal cell. You know? Megaspore mother cell and antipodal cell. Can they have haploid number of chromosomes? You only tell me. Megaspore mother cell, it will be having diploid. This will be having haploid. What about egg cell and antipodal cells? They will be having haploid because everything is inside the embryo sac. So basically this is the correct answer. this is 2n, this is basically 2n, this is n, this is n, okay. So 2n means diploid, okay. This is 2n that is diploid, this is also 2n that is diploid. These are all n, okay. Works? Let's go ahead now. So these were the number of questions, children. I hope you know the answer. For your better understanding, I'll just tick the answers. Functional megaspore in an angiosperms develop into an embryo sac. In majority of the angiosperms, where is it? Reductional division occurs in the megaspore mother cell. What does the filiform apparatus do at the entrance? It guides the pollen tube from the synergid to the egg. Which one of the following pairs of the plant structure has haploid number of chromosomes, children? It is egg cell and the antipodal cell. Okay. Now, one question for my dear little children over here. The ovule of an angiosperm is technically equivalent to what? You have to have the comparison and then let me know the answers in the comment section. Now, if you think that this particular video was helpful for you, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and also comment little sweet things down so that I can read and be happy just like you are. And I hope that you all are doing really great. Please do not worry about anything. Just give your 100% effort into solving questions and revising things often, but do not reread content every time. Rather than that, use good techniques to remember. Okay, just go and teach your younger sibling or your mother or your father, whatever, whoever you want to. Okay, so that's all, children. Have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.